Hello everybody, welcome back to this Ferrari challenge on Motorsport Manager. I am Fuzzy Face. If you've been tuning into this series previously, we are on episode 9 now. We're about, I think Silverstone was the halfway point of the season. We are now just past the halfway point of the season and we are dominating like a Mercedes here. Vettel has won, I think it's 7 of the 8 races. Yeah, we've done 8 races, so Vettel has won 7 out of 8 races. The other race winner was the first race of the season. Daniel Ricciardo won that first race. And Vettel is 74 points ahead here of Lewis Hamilton, and us as a Ferrari, we are 58 points ahead of Mercedes. So we are doing absolutely brilliant. Hopefully we can keep this sort of form going, although I do not want this form to really carry on. I was wanting a bit more of a challenge. I want the Mercedes to start stopping making stupid strategy mistakes. If Mercedes followed the same sort of strategy that the computer was doing for Red Bull, Mercedes possibly would have picked up 1 or 2 wins. I think they would have won the last race if they'd have followed the Red Bull strategy. They seemed to mess up by going too long on the mediums, which allowed us to get in early, get on the softer tyre and pick up some time during the 2 laps that the Mercedes stayed out. So much so that Vettel picked up about 9 seconds on Hamilton, which allowed Vettel, when Hamilton came into the pits, it allowed Vettel to get past Hamilton whilst he was in the pits and go on to win the race without much trouble. This time we've got Monza. This is possibly the only Grand Prix that I do really want to win, so hopefully we can do something here. Hopefully the Mercs are back at a point where they can challenge us too much. So engine, brakes and rear wing. So it looks like it's going to be another one that suits the Mercedes, although the Red Bull are best on brakes. Rear wing, we don't have the best rear wing, you see. That's possibly our weakest point, or the part that we're furthest behind the Mercedes on. So it could be a little bit of a challenge here. Hopefully it's a little bit more of a challenge than it has been recently. If we look at this, Vettel 15 points from the first race, and every race since then he's picked up 25 points. Raikkonen, who is 5th in the table at the moment, he's had a couple of 18 points. He's had 3 second places. Other than that, he's not been on the podium a whole lot. I'll just get to Raikkonen and have a look at him. It's just those 3 second places. Otherwise he's been around 6th, 7th, 5th. It seems to be settled around the 5th, 6th place, which is where as Ferrari we would have expected to be this season without Vettel doing so well. Raikkonen does have a dodgy neck at the moment, so if you watched the last episode we put John-Eric Vergne in for practice just to give him a run out. We're going to do that again just to play along with Raikkonen's dodgy neck. So we're going to jump straight into the race here. We're going to go Shell again. Last time we got out we got £4 million from Shell because it was Silverstone, so it was a home Grand Prix of Shell. We could go with Santander, but we don't always qualify first, so we'd only get half of this, so it's better to try and get 3rd or above in qualifying and the race and get this 1.3 million bonus. So that's what we're going to go with. Obviously it's going to be wet during the race, so it's possibly not going to matter too much what sort of tyre allocation we go with here. But we're going to jump into practice and we'll come back when it's time for qualifying. So we didn't do too bad in practice. Vettel, where was Vettel? I think Vettel got 1st in the end, but we did one like qualifying run where it was about a second quicker than the Mercedes. I think it was about a second quicker, I can't remember now. Anyway, it was about a second quicker than the Mercedes, but that's because he was running the qualifying, and the computer doesn't use, it seems in practice, they don't run anything in the red, they don't push anything, they sort of run how they'd run the race. But we've got there pretty much. There's a little bit here to try and change. Can't get the handling quite right for some reason. We've gone either way of that. Always stays good either side of that. It went down more that way. Maybe we'll try, we'll go that way a tiny little bit, see if that helps. But we couldn't get the handling quite right with Vergne in this car, so Raikkonen's got to sit with that. We couldn't get the downforce quite right with Vettel either. Even moving it like 0.1 on the rear wing, we couldn't get it quite evened up to get an excellent rating. So that's what we're going to go with for this race. So hopefully we can get 3rd or above here. So we're going to go ahead and take qualifying, and we'll come back when it's time for a flying lap from one of these guys. Right, so Raikkonen's coming round just about now. I think the Red Bulls are out on track. It's one of the Mercedes in front here. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton's in front of us, whereas Rosberg, I think Verstappen will just be coming out of the pit. So we've only got Raikkonen coming round at the moment. So let's see if Raikkonen knows about half a second down on the time of. Looks like the Red Bulls are really quick around here. I think Hamilton must be out. Hamilton must be out on a. Is he out on an out lap? Because he's not setting a time. No, he's setting a time. So where's Hamilton? Is he actually going quickest here? It says Verstappen's going quickest. No, I'm not even sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see, aren't we? Raikkonen's caught up a little bit here. So what can Raikkonen do? Raikkonen is 3rd, so Raikkonen's slower than both Red Bulls here early on. Looks like Hamilton's going to go quickest. Yeah, Hamilton's setting the quickest time at the moment, whereas Rosberg hasn't set a time. So next time we come back, we'll see what the Mercedes have done, and we're going to send Vettel out now, so we'll come back when he's coming round for his flying lap and see how Vettel gets on. So here comes Vettel now. The Mercedes actually went quick. Hamilton's almost a second quicker than the Red Bulls. Rosberg's about half a second slower than Hamilton. So let's just see what Vettel can get done here. Hopefully he can get close. Now he's about 3/10 down off that first sector over Hamilton. So it looks like hopefully Vettel can get third here, just so we can get that bonus. No, he's got quite a bit of time on Verstappen here. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much in the third sector. So hopefully we're going to get third. Are we in third? Yes, we're in third there. I haven't brought it up there for some reason. But a 1:14.849 from Vettel. 7/10 down exactly on Hamilton. So a little bit quicker than the Red Bull. So it looks like we're going to hold on to third position here. Hopefully we can improve a little bit with Raikkonen. He's quite a bit slower at the moment. He's almost a second slower than Vettel. I'm not quite sure what the performance difference is in the cars. I don't think there's that much performance difference between the cars. It's just that much difference in the ability between Vettel and Raikkonen in this game. So we're going to come out a little bit later into the session, and let's hope Raikkonen can get above one of these Red Bulls and split them on the grid. That would be perfect if we could do that. But anyway, we'll come back when it's time for Raikkonen to come out. Right, so here comes Raikkonen. There's no one else out on the track at the moment. Raikkonen needs to try and go quite a little bit quicker here, because Bottas in the Williams is it's so close out, and there is a risk that Raikkonen could actually lose 6th place here, but he's a little bit quicker in the first sector than he was on his first lap. So hopefully he's going to improve a little bit here. Hopefully he can get somewhere close to Ricciardo. It doesn't look like that's going to be possible here, because he's almost a second down here at the moment. So that is Raikkonen stays 6th. Doesn't actually go quicker there. No, he did actually go a little bit quicker. Yeah, he's picked up about a 1/10 of a second. So hopefully that's enough to keep him ahead of Bottas here. Hopefully Bottas can't go ahead and improve on that time. But we're going to bring Vettel out of the garage right about now. Get him round towards the end of this session. And I don't think we're going to improve to get ahead of Rosberg, but we need to try and hold on to 3rd place from the Red Bulls. Hopefully we can go ahead and do that. And we'll come back when he's about to set his time. Right, so here comes Vettel for his lap. Bottas is actually out on track at the moment. Is Bottas going any quicker? No, Bottas is going slow, so it looks like Raikkonen's going to hold on to 6th place here. Let's see if we can get any improvement on Vettel. I don't know, it doesn't look like it. Rosberg actually went a lot quicker on that lap. Has improved the gap. Hamilton going any quicker? No, Hamilton went a little bit slower then. And Vettel's actually down into 4th. We've actually lost a place to Ricciardo here. He's picked up a little bit of time. So we need Vettel to try and get 3rd back here. What can Vettel do as he comes across the line? Ah, 1:14.820. So close to Ricciardo there, but can't quite pip him for 3rd place. So 4th and 6th. It's not too bad. It's where we would expect to be. We're splitting the Red Bulls. The Mercedes looking dominant around this Monza track, so if we can't get ahead of Ricciardo from the start, the Mercedes are pretty much going to pull away, I feel, in this race. And it might be pretty hard to catch them unless they make some sort of gigantic strategy mistake. We just need to try and get ahead of Ricciardo. Hopefully Rosberg at the start. I think it was 2 races ago that Vettel absolutely made a stormer of a start. I don't know if it was 4th or 3rd, but he managed to get off the grid perfectly and get straight up into 1st by the 1st corner. Hopefully we can do something like that again here. Obviously we're waiting for some point during this race. It is going to rain, and it's supposed to rain pretty heavily, but it looks like that could happen pretty late on into the race. So what should we do? Obviously we don't have the forecasting centre to see that far ahead of time. Do we just need to a medium can get us through to the 10 laps, but we would lose so much time over using the soft tyre. We're just going to have to risk it with the soft tyres here. That's what we're going to have to go with. Maybe not try and use up so much of the tyre, and just see if we can keep an eye out for the rain. Maybe it's going to rain really late on. So we're just going to run in high mode here. We're not going to burn the fuel. Let's pick the bonuses here. Obviously we're going to go soft and race trim, since we've got 15% bonuses for both of those. I'm tempted to go for the nurse stat for Raikkonen, just since his engine, it lost so much performance last time. It went from like 80% one lap right down to nearly 20. I think it was 29% the next lap. So hopefully we can have a good start here with Vettel. And we just got to keep an eye out for this rain that is supposed to be coming. So a lot of these cars down the back end here could possibly have a decent race if they can get through to where the rain's going to start. And Vettel is away. He's battling with Ricciardo there, but Raikkonen's absolutely made a pretty poor start there. Bottas has got ahead of him off the start there. I don't know whether that's to do with his fitness stat at the moment, because he made a really bad start in the last race as well. But Vettel's got up into second there. Brilliant racing from Vettel. Got ahead of Rosberg, and Rosberg's been squeezed out by both Red Bulls here, but it doesn't look like he's going to lose the place. He's going to get back past. That's Verstappen. Verstappen's actually got... What's up with Verstappen there? Verstappen's slowed right down. Verstappen actually got up into third place, but then had to slow right down. As Rosberg and both Ricciardo got back past him, and Raikkonen is now all the way back down in 10th. The Mercedes try to squeeze him out on this corner, on this S-bend. It looks like Massa's managed to stay ahead of him, but Raikkonen should have the speed on this straight to possibly push past this Toro Rosso as well. But he doesn't take the line up the inside, which means Massa's going to get that jump on the inside as well, and he's going to lose another place as Raikkonen is back down into 10th. So we should really start thinking about turning these tyres down now. Maybe we should keep going a little bit longer with Vettel to keep Rosberg at bay, but it's going to be pretty hard for him to get past us here. No, I say that and then he just shoots up the inside. Right, so it wasn't that hard for him to get past us, whereas Raikkonen has managed to get past one of the... he managed to get past a Williams here. I think one of the Toro Rossos dropped down the order as well. Sainz is dropping down the order for some reason. It looks like I'm sure he was ahead. So Raikkonen is now behind Bottas. Vettel is battling with Ricciardo, still for third. It looks like the Mercedes are going to pull away here. Are the Mercedes pushing their tyre? No, they're pushing their fuel load. They always seem to push the fuel load and then have a lot of problems later on. They seem to like to try and get that little bit of a gap out at the start of the race. It usually comes back to haunt them at the end of the race when they have to run in low mode, whereas we've usually got some fuel left over, or we don't have to try and recover as much, because running in high mode we don't actually use any fuel per lap over and above what a lap takes out of the fuel tank. Anyway, it's just a matter of waiting for this rain. It's going to come at lap 8 in it, so we're going to try and hold on to these tyres now. We're really going to try and hold on to these tyres so we don't have to come into the pits. Maybe we should run in conserve mode. We're just going to try and hold on. So it looks like it's coming about lap 8. But it's not going to last too long, is it? But it's going to be worth doing 4 laps on an intermediate tyre. And that looks like it could be all the rain for this session, doesn't it? Looks like there's only going to be a tiny bit of rain here. So hopefully Vettel can keep Ricciardo at bay here. I think there's quite a big gap back to Verstappen. Not too much of a gap, but I can't really see him here. Where's Verstappen here? He's a little bit further down the road. Raikkonen has managed to get past Massa now, and Bottas. Bottas dropped down for some reason as well. So we're now chasing down Force India of Perez. This will be a good test here, because Perez is one of the drivers that we're looking at for next season. Let's just see if Raikkonen can catch up to him. What's Perez doing in his car? He's pushing a little bit more. So let's see if Perez can hold Raikkonen off here. He's got a chance to impress us here as Perez. Although we've got a lot more power than the Force India down the straight. Although we shouldn't have. The Force India uses the Mercedes engine, although it's not really replicated in this game. They do have quite a bit of power in that 106 hybrid engine. The Mercedes one. Vettel's still doing a good job of holding Ricciardo up here. I'm hoping that we can get this through to lap 8. It does look like we're going to be able to do that here. So Vettel is actually lapping quicker than Ricciardo here. So yes, there's no problems with the tyres here. Is everyone else holding off their tyres? What are we like compared to them? Have we got more tyre left than them? 34%. So we've actually got like a lap more in this tyre than everyone else, and Ricciardo's gone through his a little bit more, but not much more. So are we still lapping quicker? No, Ricciardo actually went quicker on that last lap than us, but he can't get past us here, which is good. Good for us, at least. Did we go quicker that lap? Yeah, we went quicker that lap. Raikkonen is lapping quicker than Perez, but he's having trouble, is Raikkonen, getting past Perez here. And he's worn the tyres out a little bit more, which is what Raikkonen does in this game, so we're going to have to set the pit stops up. Just not for after this lap. It's going to start raining just after this lap, so is it going to be more beneficial to come in this lap? Should we try and go early with the tyre? Or should we try and go a little bit longer with the tyre? Let's try and go a little bit longer with Vettel. We'll get Raikkonen in this lap. We'll try a risk and go a little bit longer. We'll go fast with Raikkonen. He needs to pick up some time over Perez. Is Perez coming in as well? Perez is staying out on the dry tyre, so it might be more beneficial to stay out on the dry tyre. Although Raikkonen's tyres are pretty shredded, whereas we've got another lap in these tyres from Vettel. And we can actually run it in overtake mode here. So what are we behind the Mercedes? We're 8 seconds behind Hamilton. It looks like as he comes into the pits. We're going to be 8 seconds behind. Although we can pretty much judge where we are compared to Ricciardo here. So we were 8 seconds behind. So can we hold on to that 8 seconds here? And they've come out on dry tyres. Why have they come out on dry tyres? Because it's going to rain. Although they don't have to pit again, do they? Let's try the intermediate. Let's see if we can get a big enough gap on these inters. We go balance because Vettel's what is he called? Vettel's race mechanic doesn't have the best pit stop stat. He doesn't have the best concentration stat, so he's more prone to making mistakes in the pit. So we'll go balanced with Vettel, and it's started to rain here. Let's just go and push because we don't have much room in this tyre. Raikkonen is now in there, coming into the pits, but he's going to go on to intermediates where everyone else has stayed out on a dry tyre. We can just really attack on this dry tyre now. So let's see if we can pick up quite a bit of distance here. We've got 18 seconds on Hamilton at the moment. Although we've now got the intermediate tyre, so we should be able to catch him up and get back past him here. We've come out of the pits ahead of Rosberg. And Perez actually... no, Perez hasn't actually pitted, has he? I thought he got ahead of Ricciardo somehow there. And Raikkonen's all the way back here. He's got stuck behind a bit of traffic. Didn't have the best of time coming into the pits and getting out there. So we're actually going to catch Hamilton now. We're catching pretty rapidly and going to be able to blow past him on the straight. Or even before the straight, it looks like. So we need to try, whilst it's raining, to try and build up a gap of about 20 seconds. And it looks like that's going to be possible. Or maybe not, because the track's going to dry out pretty rapidly after this lap, isn't it? It's going to be pretty close. It's going to be pretty close. Maybe we should go in overtake mode just till we come into the pits. And then we can try and recover whatever fuel that we've burned off. 12, we're at 13, we're at 14, we're at 15, we're at 16. Raikkonen is now up into 4th. It's just wherever we can get out of the pits here. Rosberg's going to have to make another pit stop anyway, I feel. Oh no, he should be able to make that soft tyre last till the end of the race. So the rain looks like it's stopped here. Looks like we're going to be losing time after this lap. So this is the lap that we need to come back in, put this last pair of softs on. And we're going to do the same for Raikkonen. Put this last pair of softs on. So yeah, we can get another lap out of these intermediates here. We're still picking up time on Hamilton, so it looks like we're going to get out of the pits ahead of Hamilton. Vettel's actually setting a fastest time of the race here. Although he's not possibly going to get it, because he's going to come into the pits first. Raikkonen, meanwhile, can we get out ahead of... No, it doesn't look like we're going to get out ahead of Verstappen, does it? Just no, I don't think we will do. But Vettel's made a mistake here. It looks like Hamilton's gonna... Hamilton... Ah, no. Just not enough there. That mistake in the pits. We can run these tyres like this, but we do have to try and recover this fuel now that we pushed. So it doesn't look like we've got a race win here. Can Raikkonen get out ahead of Verstappen? No. Out into 6th place there. We've got to try and recover some fuel as well with Raikkonen. Although we can keep attacking on these tyres, but we're going to have to settle for this now. Just about. We've got no chance of catching Rosberg or Hamilton. Yeah, because Rosberg should be... He's got some nice fully warmed up tyres here. Although his tyres are possibly going to go at the end of the race. So we might have a chance of getting past him at some point for getting 2nd place. But we've got no chance of catching up with Hamilton here. It's just whether Vettel can get down the inside of him on the straight. Although we're running in low mode to try and recover some fuel. No, Vettel does it anyway. Even running in low mode, he's managed to get past Rosberg here. It's a brilliant racing there from Vettel. Raikkonen in 6th. Can we get on the back of Verstappen here with Raikkonen? I think it's just because we're pushing the tyres. Are we actually going quicker? We won't be able to know until we've done this lap. Although, but the next lap though, we can pretty much tell where we are, because we'll have a nice quick lap this lap, I think, because we start it. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're a bit quicker though, aren't we? We're a little bit quicker than Verstappen there. Is that the actual race pace that we're doing here? Because Vettel's getting away from Rosberg here. I don't think he's getting on the back of Hamilton. No, it doesn't look like it. We've got to recover this fuel somehow. Whereas Raikkonen now, we can run back in high mode. I don't think we've got enough. No, we do have enough to get on the back of Verstappen here, because Verstappen's on a pair of worn medium tyres here. So Raikkonen's going to get past Verstappen for 5th, hopefully, at some point. Vettel, meanwhile, has got enough to get round to the end of the race with minus 0.05. So we might as well go medium. There's no trouble from Rosberg getting on the back here. Raikkonen, meanwhile, has a chance to get past Verstappen here. We can put it in overtake mode here, just for this straight that's coming up. Around this last bend here. Doesn't look like Raikkonen's got the pace. No, so Raikkonen comes across the line in 6th there. So not bad, 2nd and 6th. Decent result. Obviously, this was one of the races that I did want to win, Monza, the home Grand Prix of Ferrari. Wasn't to be. So that brings an end to our 7 wins in a row, a 2nd place. I'm not too unhappy with it, because that's pretty much what I wanted. I want the Mercedes to be getting back up to form here, for it to be a lot harder for us to beat Mercedes, and it almost worked out for us doing that little stint on the intermediates. It certainly worked out for Raikkonen, because he managed to get ahead of, it was behind Perez, and he managed to get in front of Perez through that little bit of thing there. It almost caught him up to the Red Bulls, especially with Max Verstappen. Another lap and we would have got past Max Verstappen in this race. So let's have a look at the timings here. Not that much slower Vettel than the Mercedes, although Raikkonen's about a second quicker, second slower than Mercedes as well. But Red Bull, the Red Bull of Ricciardo actually put in a pretty decent time there, pretty close to the Mercedes there. So it looks like it's going to be getting a tiny little bit harder towards the end of the season, which is what I wanted, hopefully. Just want to try and hold on to 1st place, even though that's what will happen. I don't think there's enough time for Mercedes to try and claw back this distance here. Vettel 67 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Kimi is 5th still, holding on to this for Max Verstappen 88. We want him to get a little bit closer to this little group. Maybe we should try giving Raikkonen the better car. But then Mercedes are they're closing in a little bit here, aren't they? So it looks like it might get quite tight towards the end of the season, which would be an excellent thing to happen if we can go into the last race needing to get a result in the last race. I don't want to throw anything, I don't want to have bad races on purpose. We'll still keep trying to win the races. Hopefully Mercedes can try and improve a little bit here and get on the back of us. We came 2nd overall, we're expected to come 3rd, so everyone's still happy here. Podium, new personality trait, rival with driver. The driver will not join a team with their rival Nico Rosberg, so Raikkonen is now in a rivalry with Rosberg, which means he won't sign for Mercedes. He's not going to be, well, it won't be in consideration for Mercedes in this game, I don't think. I don't know if Rosberg's going to be leaving Mercedes at the end of the season, because his contract's up as well, I think. So whether Mercedes retain him for next season, I think he will do. Though, unlike in real life, I don't think he's going to retire. Let's just see what we've got here. So Vettel tops the timesheet, Hamilton, car condition, not too bad for the car condition around Monza. And everything else that we know, the engine's going to be built pretty soon. I think we've got a vote coming up. Is the vote coming up 2 weeks left? No, it's not going to be in time for the next race. We don't have any sponsorships coming up, and this engine is not going to be going in the car anyway. So I think that's where we're going to leave this episode. I don't think there's anything coming up before the next race of scouting, but we're always just scouting people to see what they're at. It's just Bottas coming up. Well, Bottas is coming up. Let's have a look at Bottas' stats just before we finish here. It says we should have a scouting report on Bottas. Where is he? 0% marketability. So what's affecting that? So struggles under pressure. Lightning reactions, media shy, so is that what's affecting it? Yeah, so Bottas is out because we want marketability, that's what we're going for next time. Yeah, so that's where we're leaving this episode. A pretty successful home Grand Prix. Brings an end to the run of 7 wins in a row. Unfortunately, we couldn't carry that through to Monza. Mercedes are going to start coming back at us now, I feel. So it's going to get quite close and interesting towards the end of the season. But anyway, if you're not already subscribed and want to see if we can go ahead and win this Formula 1 Championship, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and until next time at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix, I will see you down the road, and goodbye.